Hey everyone, this is Jake. I am leading another home gym roundtable. This time we have Kurt, aka the Kurt Locker, Mark Flex the Spot, and then Jonathan, No Fate 247. I will plug all of their information into the descriptions. It's very likely you're already following all of them, but please go give them some love for taking the time to do this. We are going to start off with a couple of true or false questions, and then move into a Q&A. So first, I don't think we made signs, but is someone other than Rep going to have the best product releases over the next 365 days?
True.
No.
Someone other than Rep.
Not anyone. No, Rep's going to have it.
All right, Kurt, what do you think?
So this question is ambiguous. So it's who's going to have more, or just the best?
Best.
Man, I don't know. Rep really crushed last year. We'll call it fiscal year 2023. I would love to see another company crush just as hard in 2024 and give them something to compete with.
I think we all would, but do you think it's going to happen?
Not for the affordable price range that Rep offers, no.
Got it. Anybody have anything else to say?
I called this last year when you had me on. I said that Rep had everything in place in order to continue to innovate, continue to roll out stuff. And when you're in the lead and you've got innovation, and they just show that they're going to be doing like adjustable dumbbells in the future, it's easy to keep that ball rolling, keep that momentum, and it's going to be hard for anyone to catch up to them.
Yeah, so I think Rep won 2022, right? And they're pretty much on pace to win 2023. So the reason I'm saying no is because it's hard to three-peat, you know? With that, I think Bells of Steel's probably going to give them a run for their money in terms of, you know, just within that year of items in that release window. Obviously the Manticore is coming out, and I think like just a lot of their like rack attachment, like, you know, belt squat type things, and, you know, a lot of those things that have been in the works for a while. I don't have any insider knowledge, but I'd assume that they're probably going to be dropping all of these within the next year. And Rep, I mean, they haven't given me a reason to doubt otherwise, but, you know, just to give them a little extra motivation, hopefully they can drop some other items if, you know, if Bells of Steel's, you know, nipping at their heels.
Right.
That is a good point with Bells of Steel, but I just don't know. I don't think it's there.
I like Bells of Steel, but they're still behind. I mean, when you go onto their stuff, it's all black and white. You can only get one color. And as consumers, you don't want an all-black gym. I mean, some people do. That's fine. But guess what? Most people want multicolors. They want dual tone. They want to have a specialized home gym just based on colors. It's like, remember when they released that old school computer? I might be dating myself. It was the first computer to come out with different colors. It was like an Apple or whatever. People were clamoring to get the purple one or the white one. It's the same thing with home gym equipment. If you're only going to offer black, you're going to be the Model T, and people aren't going to want to buy it.
That's a good argument. I actually haven't heard that before. Anybody think Rogue's gonna cut? Rogue's been quiet for like 6 months now. Anybody think Rogue's gonna do anything?
Does anyone think Rogue cares about the home gym community? I say no.
No and no.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they prioritize the home gym community.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move on to true or false. Has the home gym community peaked?
Let's go with Mark first, since he answered. Since I cut him off the last time.
So sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the growth is stalled. I don't think it's going to. It's on the decline. I think at the very least it'll remain consistent, you know. And if there is any growth, it's just going to be slow trickling. And, you know, obviously we're past the COVID surge, and that's, I guess, I haven't really given too much thought into that, to be honest. But if I just had to guess, that would probably be what I would guess off the top of my head.
I'd be curious to see if we can actually get metrics on the size of that community. I feel like we have a couple clues here and there. So we have people that are on the home gym Reddit or people that are on the home gym Discord. And then there's a whole bunch of people that are on both. And so it's really difficult to get a bead on where people are, or like how many home gyms there actually are in the area. It seems like it's stalled, but home gyms are also one of those things where once you get into having a home gym, most, from what I've seen, tend to keep with the home gym. So that number is going to probably surge up, like you said, Mark, because of COVID, and then just kind of maintain for a while. I'd be curious to see if there's something else that causes it to start rising again, or if it just stays status quo. But I like to think optimistically that everybody wants to have what I have behind me.
All right, I guess I am all doom and gloom. This thing peaked in about 2022 when the demand was the highest because of the vid. I don't want to say the word. I don't want you to get canceled. However, unfortunately, it's just getting smaller. The market for home gyms is just coming down, and you can see it on Facebook Marketplace. There's a ton of junk on there that people are just getting rid of all their equipment that they never used. And what happens is when we look at home gym community, we're in it. We're in the weeds. We love home gym stuff. Most users, they get their power rack, they get their stuff, they get their workout routine, and they're done. They don't need to look at more equipment. They're full up. And if you look at a lot of YouTube home gym creators, check out their views. Their views are down. The reason is, in part, there's a lot of reasons behind it, but one of the major reasons is people aren't as interested in the home gym community as they were. And obviously with all the gyms opening up, a lot of people are just kind of want that community feeling of being at a gym where they know people.
Yeah, and I think another big reason for the stalled growth is just these equipment prices. Just continue to go up. If there is going to be any sort of increased growth, I think it probably would be with someone like, I don't know, like Amazon, making like a strong push, or weight plates and some of those items that are really expensive to ship. Something would need to give to make make that a lot more affordable. And I mean, just my 2 cents there. Even Titan and Rep, these days, they used to be known as more budget options, but these days, really can't find anything on their sites that even competes with like the Amazons, the Dick's Sporting Goods type of things. And
Yeah,
I mean, you look at the Manta, you look at Rogue Fitness. They released the Manta Ray for $1,000 plus shipping, and Rep Fitness was probably loving that because compared to that, their $600 Blackwing looks like an affordable catch.
Yeah. I think that was the point I was going to make before moving on to the next topic. Was I think a lot of it comes down to the price, and I think the cost of goods is as high as it's ever been, and if it can go down, I think that's good for the overall growth potential. But if not, then yeah, I think it's going to probably stall. All right, cool. Good feedback. Let's move to a non-true or false question. So product knockoffs are happening all around us. So we recently saw it from Lyco when the AbMat situation, Rogue, Mutant Metals, but there's also like Bells of Steel has like basically the same products as Concept 2 coming out. And like that's just like one example, but and then on Amazon, like for example, you go buy some bench blocks and there's 4 versions of bench blocks that are just copies over the actual product that was created to solve that solution. So it's everywhere. So my question is, and we saw the reactions the last few weeks with AbMat and Alico. So this is pretty much a follow up to that. Why do some of these product knockoffs upset the home gym community, whereas others don't really? Like the Bells of Steel example I mentioned.
I think it has to do a lot with companies. So like AbMat, the reason that I think AbMat was such a personal hit for a lot of us in the home gym community is because AbMat does so much for the home gym community specifically. They partner with home gym owners like Eccles to do that pinch block, so for us, it feels a little bit more personal, perhaps. So it's not just Bells of Steel ripping off Concept 2, which are just two brands that are out there. It's a company that deliberately invests in the home gym community specifically, getting ripped off by a huge brand that is known for its superior, like wild, high quality equipment, Alico, and for being innovators in the market. So, and it's not like it's kind of like, oh, it's like yours, but we improved on it in this way. It's like, oh, we slightly changed the shape, but it does the exact same thing and it doesn't do it any better. So I think that's kind of where it's at, because it was the same thing with like Mutant Metals and the Rogue situation. So Mutant Metals, again, a very heavy in the home gym scene, or at least prioritizes that home gym scene. The owner of the company is reaching back to home gym owners when they reach out to the company, versus Rogue, where, if you email team at Rogue Fitness, you go to the bottom stack and some intern that's making one Starbucks per hour calls you, or not, doesn't even call you back, but emails you back with the wrong answer in 2 days. So I think that's where it's at with me. So the line is, if the company really prioritizes home gym, I think it hits a little bit deeper for us. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if these companies want to protect their IP within within the U.S., they need to obviously go through the wickets and get those patents. But unfortunately, you're still susceptible to overseas being ripped off by China.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head there, Kurt. I mean, the reality is, when it's a small company, when you've got a David versus Goliath situation, a small company kind of getting ripped off by a bigger company, in perception, it's easier for the home gym community to unite and kind of give people like Rogue a hard time and force them to kind of like make amends for perceived slights. But when it's a lot of different companies ripping off one product, where you see a lot of companies have some knockoff rower like the Concept 2, and a lot of foreign made goods. As an example, like Angles 90, right? They're ripped off by like a ton of Asian companies from China or all over the world. And it's just like the same exact thing. And it's probably made in the same factory. No one really gets up in arms about it, because there's just so many different knockoffs of that product.
Yeah. Just to kind of piggyback off of both of your points, I think it definitely has to do with the company that's doing the ripping off and the product specifically. So just to kind of go back to Bells of Steel, um, I mean, yeah, they're definitely definitely ripping off Concept 2, but like Jonathan said, everyone's tried, no one's been successful in really knocking off Concept 2 from from the top spot in the cardio equipment space for their particular products. They've been undercut on price. They've had other products that look pretty identical, but just when you're looking at the quality, it doesn't really doesn't really come close. So I think like with instances like that, people don't really care so much. But then also, if it's a super premium product and the company that's doing the ripping off, if it's better overall for, I guess, the consumer, like allows more people to be able to experience that type of product who wouldn't have been able to get the premium version. I think that's another thing that would definitely sway the public perception on the company that's doing the ripping off. Like, I guess, kind with like Rogue and like Mutant Metals, like obviously Rogue probably could have really undercut the UDA in terms of price, but the fact that they just barely undercut him on the price, and it was a small company, when Rogue themselves have also been very vocal about companies ripping them off. Like things like that are other factors that really cause the community to be up in arms.
All right, good feedback, guys. You guys all have been doing content for at least a few years now. What is the worst part of being a content creator?
Just one, huh?
What? Take it how you want.
All right, well, if no one wants to go first, I will go first. And I know 100% that people that are watching this video, you don't want to go to the hot dog factory. You don't care how your sausage is made. You don't want to hear complaints. You just want content. But as a content creator, since the question was asked, I will tell you it is time. A lot of people think that these videos take no time at all. And I guess if you are a certain person with a mustache, you're able to churn out videos very quickly because you have a whole team doing everything, telling you what to say. You don't even touch the double black diamond bar before you review it, stuff like that. But for most of us, unfortunately, we have to put a lot of time in. For me, it takes 20 to 40 hours per video. And that's not an embellishment. I'm not fudging the numbers. That's how long it takes. And when you get a video release and it just dies on the vine, it's brutal.
Yeah, I think to kind of extend on what you said, for me, I actually did research this question. Basically, just the burnout that comes with trying to consistently produce engaging content that people actually want to see, and it's pressure that's applied to yourself. So you have a high standard for yourself. You apply that pressure to make consistent, engaging, and entertaining content. That's also in depth, and to your statement, Jonathan, something that I actually have touched. Most of the reviews that I do in here are after 3 months minimum, touching the bar every single day, whatever piece of equipment it is, modifying my training every single day, so that I can make sure that I can actually give an opinion that is mine and not just some team's. And just recently, I've stepped back into that arena because I actually took about a 6-month hiatus, almost completely off from YouTube. Just purely the time that it takes, the pressure that's there, and then the creative burnout that resulted from it. Not to mention, it's also really pisses me off when I get out in the gym and I'm like, all right, cool, we got heavy squats today. Now I got to set my camera up to make sure I'm capturing B-roll instead of just focusing on the lifts. I know it's like first world problems, but yeah, if you want to get into this content creation thing, that's just part of the game. You just got to learn how to balance it.
So obviously time is going to be my number one also, but I won't go with that one since both Jonathan and Kurt went with that. So I'm going to say just the payoff. My multi-grip cambered bar video, comparing all like the top 5. That video took me so long, took me a couple of years to do, just testing the bars, playing, using them, acquiring them over the course of them coming out, and then just, trying to genuinely use them in, real applications and not just, try to do a quick, head-to-head comparison and, just be like, okay, this one feels, this way, this way, this way. I wanted to do like training blocks with each one of the bars and, with multiple lifts and really, really like understand them inside and out, and ultimately, like, I don't even know how many hours that took me. But, once the video dropped, the amount of footage I had to go through and, all the editing and everything, put it out. And I think right now it's only sitting at like 2.8 thousand views, something like that. So, it really wasn't a very good payoff. Meanwhile, I did a stupid TikTok video, blows up for like 72 million views. And it's like, okay, like this effort is, it's like, there really is no way to, to know what's going to pop off, and just not worth it sometimes, especially if this isn't your full-time job, just kind of doing it on the side, trying to actually put valuable content out there, not just trying to make a quick buck off of affiliate links.
Yeah.
That's a great point. I hate what Instagram likes right now. It's like it hates the stupid videos that, I mean, at least the ones that have gone viral on my page have been like provide no value. They're just like silly videos. They go viral. You get more followers, but they're worthless followers. And then you try and do something helpful, and it just tanks, like you guys had mentioned. So it's very frustrating. Like I wish, like that hurts to hear that you put like probably hundreds of hours into a video, and you just feel like you didn't even get anything out of it.
Mark, I watched that video. It was fantastic. It was like
I remember that
ridiculously
too,
in
yeah.
depth. I still remember that one.
Well, thanks. Appreciate that.
Yes, I do too. I remember that.
Those are the videos that actually add value to this community, though, because that 72-hour viral Tic Tac or whatever the fuck you called it. I don't download Chinese spyware to my phone. Yeah, like that doesn't increase value. That's 15 seconds of entertainment and probably made people dumber. It's like that thing from Billy Madison when he answers the question completely wrong about the puppy who gets lost and all that crap. And then the guy's like, no, that is not correct. And we are now dumber as a result of you answering the question. But that bar video that you made, which again, I also hold in high regard, that adds so much value. And it's interesting as well to think about. So you said people using the affiliate links. How many people will watch that video that took you hundreds of hours to do and then avoid using your affiliate link when in reality, the 1/8 of a cent that you got from them watching the video all the way through with the ads not being skipped, it didn't really earn you anything. So it's just kind of equally frustrating. At least use the affiliate link if it helped.
That's why you see a lot of the big creators will bury their affiliate links in terms of like they'll send you something in an email and they're like, hey, look at this, click on this. And you think it's like just a link to the product, but it's their affiliate link to the product that they kind of fail to mention. And
I don't know how to do that.
But that's part of the reason that they do it is because that's the only way that they can, kind of capitalize on you clicking on that link.
Yeah, and I think there's also a misconception. They have a misconception about how much content creators are making. And I would say that the majority of them are making a few $100s a month. Like, especially if they're just getting going, if they've been doing it for a year or so, and it's obviously just a side hustle, they're not making that much money to begin with, specifically. So like, people should definitely be using their affiliate links, especially if they're just getting going. And then also another follow up from what you guys were saying, or I was saying about how like it's the annoying videos that go viral. I fell into a loop where I was like, okay, this video went viral. I'm just going to do another silly video because it gets the views. If you fall into that trap, and then I saw a few comments where it was like, oh, I remember when this page used to post home gym stuff instead of this. I'm like, oh, he's right. I should stop doing this. So like, I'll still do it every once in a while because you got to do what you got to do, I guess. But I just wish it wasn't so dependent on algorithms. But I don't know of a better system because the social media accounts are just trying to keep people on their page. It's like what people want. Yeah. So,
and even with those stupid little videos too, the amount of people that just steal that content without crediting and just repost it is ridiculous. I didn't realize how bad that was until it happened to me quite a few times. You try to use the like the in-app features like the Instagram report for intellectual property, and
useless.
It's like, okay. It's like, well,
yeah, pretty soon you'll see your own videos and they'll be mirrored. You'll be like, wait a minute, is that me? And it'll just be the mirror of you. And that's why they get around getting caught in some places.
I missed the class growing up on how to be funny. So no one's ever stolen like an Instagram content, but I did stumble upon, I got an email from some gym thing. And when I went to the video that was in the email, the second video that played on Vimeo was my review of the Henny, and I didn't put it there. So I thought, yeah, I've been ripped off once, but I don't know how to be funny though. So I still haven't figured out what makes viral other than, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody knows. It's just, something that you find funny that you're like, I'll just throw this
Yeah.
up, and just to
I can't,
throw something up, and
I
yeah,
can't
before
post
you
things
know,
that
you're
I
like, oh
think are
wow.
funny.
Kurt, your squat videos aren't going to go viral.
I'm not looking for my squat videos to go viral. That's just so that I can feel better.
All right.
Yeah, and I guess just to kind of add to that too, and then you add informative content, you add funny content, then you get comments about like, oh yeah, this guy doesn't even look like he lifts, then you post all your lifting videos and no engagement whatsoever, and
Right.
it's like, okay,
Right.
it's like a never winning battle there.
Right. All right. Well, before we move on, I'll just mention we obviously are still doing this, even though there's struggles. So you get unless you're crazy, you get more value out of it. So I think none of us want to come off as complaining. It's just kind of nice to
No.
just kind of inform anyone who's considering it, and
I'm not
for
bitter.
the people who want to see
I'm not
what's
bitter
behind the
at all.
scenes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, just
All
doing
right.
it in my free time, so
Right.
no biggie.
All right. Next up, what product have you been using a lot lately that more people should know about?
Well, I guess I'll kick this one off. So I've been using like the magnetic resistance sleds quite a bit.
Yes.
And yeah, I, kind of, and I guess it doesn't really have to be magnetic resistance ones. It could just be any sled. But yeah, I mean, I was primarily doing, Ollie lifting, and my joints, my knees, they were pretty wrecked, hitting that pretty hard. But, started incorporating some sled work, once or twice a week. And I feel like that, rejuvenated my knees, and yeah, I didn't buy into the hype initially, but I'm a believer.
For me, it's been the Zbex ski trainer, which we talked about Concept 2 getting knocked off. I don't necessarily know if it's a knockoff because I actually think it's better than the Concept 2 version, just from my usage. But I've been loving it. It's a great way to do cardio, which most people need to do more of, and it's upper body cardio, which is very lacking in the cardio department. You do get some legs and hamstrings in there, and it's overall a full body workout, but it's mostly back and triceps. The amount of pump I get from doing that ski trainer, and it's soul crushing. It'll kick you in the crotch.
I've been using a lot of BFR stuff lately. And if you've never done blood flow restriction training, I'm not talking about the bands around, like the rubber bands around your arm. I'm talking about actual BFRs where you measure your LOP, limb something pressure. That's been pretty awesome. But for the context there, I've also been in physical therapy for like the last 8 weeks. So I'm coming off of a couple, I'm not going to call them injuries, but some nuisances that have reemerged from about 10 years ago.
I think the Ultimate Warrior was like the first one to do like the blood flow restrictions back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like the old school one though, where it's like they literally just like wrap the band around and it's like, it feels good. Like that should be tight enough, or most of the time it was too tight. Get compartment syndrome and that kind of crap. But BFR has been really good because I can still get a lot of my work done, really lightweight, easy to recover from. And basically in a smaller amount of time. I just like it better.
Have you ever used the Donnie Thompson bow tie?
I've seen the Donnie Thompson bow tie. I've used it when I was down in Texas. My coach had one. I didn't love it enough to spend the $50 or whatever it was, because that's really more of a posture teaching tool, right?
Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just curious.
But no.
That was actually my choice to throw in. I love using that thing, especially on arm days. Gets the blood flowing, makes you look bigger than what you are. Yeah.
So you just wear it during the arm session? I was curious because my coach had it in his gym, and I remember I walked in, I grabbed it, I put it on, And then he walked in the gym later and he looked at me and he's like, WTF. And I was like, I was just trying it out.
I've never been somebody who's been very vascular. Like it's just like never been, like my veins are really deep, but that thing gets them popping out like crazy. And I really enjoy using it. And I think, it helps with your posture during lifts. And I don't know the science to explain it, to do much explanation, but I like it.
Sounds like I need one.
Yeah, you do. All right. Last question. What is the number one product on your wish list?
I'll go first on one of these. It has been for the past year and a half, the Kabuki Kratos. Really want one of those super bad.
For me, it's the Rep Fitness equalizer plates. They had them at home, Gym Con, American made, and apparently those are supposed to be rolled out. Well, we haven't seen them. They've been rolling everything else out and under the sun. I want to see more American made stuff, and I want to see these plates. And I'm usually a bumper plate guy, but mark my words, I will be buying these when they come out. So Ryan over at Rep, if you're watching this video, and I know you watch, get those things rolling. Come on, they're made in America. You don't have to worry about shipping overseas. Let's go.
Last year, Rep did a lot. I wouldn't say better job, but they like made it very clear as to like what's coming. Whereas this year, like the other day, Ryan previewed their adjustable dumbbells, and it's already on their website. So like before that, it was like kind of had a month or two heads up. Maybe that was just like if you're a content creator, but I mean, still nobody knows when they're releasing stuff. And
no, you're right, Jake. They dropped that teaser reel like a while ago, and it had like
that was it.
1 second clips of everything put in there. So it's definitely something that they used to do more of. I don't know why they kind of switching gears and just being like, it's live.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to see if one works better than the other.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Looking for that adjustable dumbbell.
Yeah. So yeah, my number one. Well, I want to say it was probably the Bulletproof PCD, but after seeing the price tag on that, it's probably gonna be a while. So I'm gonna pivot that to probably the Squat Max.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
especially
owner.
now. Yeah, now with Titan making them, and Brian, signing off, giving his seal of approval on it. Price is right. I don't know how long I'll be able to hold off once they're back in stock.
That's one collaboration I think that was really well done with Titan Fitness and Brian, and the owner of the Squat Max. And it's just one of those, like, he was on the video and he's such a passionate person that you can feel that he believes it's like as good, if not a better product than what he was able to put out with his design. So it's one of those, like, I think a win-win.
I'm excited to see the Pro model. That's the one I want. I want to upgrade.
Yeah, that would be cool too. You're gonna be able to fit that in there?
I will make it.
All right, guys. Anything else before we close it?
I just want people to know, if you get a Garage Gym Experiment shirt, legitimately, it's going to add like an inch to your arms. I mean, like overnight, So just a suggestion. I think they're on sale right now at Jake's website.
Yeah, $9.99, guys. They're very cheap, and they're a bargain for sure. They're nice shirts. They're like,
it's great material. I love them, man.
A little insight: they cost $16 per. So, guys, just trying to get them out. Of like 100 left. So, anyways, all right, guys, that's going to do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody.